Thank you for watching RooTV.
Welcome back to another episode of RooTV. I'm Marissa Leggio.
And I'm Grace Kertz. Prior to Easter, a Kansas City bunny rescue group worked to educate the public. Stay tuned to hear about the efforts regarding this season's favorite fuzzy friends.
A teenage girl was arrested after she allegedly punched a Clay County Sheriff's deputy in the face at Worlds of Fun Saturday evening. It happened as a number of off-duty officers working security at the amusement park tried to control a massive crowd of up to 150 teenagers. The large crowd began fighting around 7:30 p.m. Deputies and Kansas City police officers working security at the amusement park worked with Worlds of Fun security to break up the crowds. Fights continued to happen among the teenagers as security worked to move the crowds closer to the exit. A girl refused to leave Worlds of Fun and instead allegedly punched a deputy in the face. He suffered minor injuries. She was arrested and released to her parents. However, the fighting continued in the parking lot. Officers broke up those fights and cleared the park about an hour later. Worlds of Fun said it doesn't want any guests to experience what happened Saturday night.
UMKC's Roo News won 7 awards at this year's Missouri College Media Association MCA banquet, hosted at Southeast Missouri State University. Roo News received these honors with a mostly new staff, competing against the largest campuses in Missouri. Part of the staff attended this banquet, including workshops to identify how to better serve UMKC. Steve Kraske, chairman of Roo News' Board of Publishers, boasted that, "I couldn't be prouder of the staff, especially given the fact that the leadership of the paper last fall was brand new to the job." Roo News was awarded second place for their impressive website and has placed first or second in website design the past 4 years. Search Roo News to explore their expertly crafted site and read their latest article. Roo News wins 7 awards at MCMA Conference to view the full list of awards.
Kansas City, Kansas police are investigating after a semi-truck struck and killed a woman along I-35 Monday morning. According to Kansas Highway Patrol, around 3:30 a.m., a United States Postal Service semi-truck was traveling southbound along the interstate when it struck a pedestrian standing in the roadway near Cambridge Circle. The pedestrian, later identified as 30-year-old Jacqueline Kerwan, was pronounced dead at the scene. The crash temporarily shut down a portion of the interstate for several hours Monday morning before reopening to traffic just before 8 a.m.
Now, let's throw it over to Jackson Ogden for sports.
Welcome back into the den. I am Jackson Ogden, and on today's episode, I'm going to be giving you my NBA playoff predictions. I've been looking forward to this all year. The regular season can be a drag. Players sit out. It's not that important, but we're finally at the point where players are going to start playing their hardest. It's going to be a great time. Before we can even get to the playoffs, though, we've got to discuss the play-in tournament, which will be happening throughout the week. The Timberwolves and Lakers are going to start it off, and the Lakers playing some of their best basketball of the year. I expect them to take down the Timberwolves to clinch that 7th seed in the playoffs. Then we get Thunder Pelicans. I like the Pelicans in this one. Thunder are a little young. On the Eastern Conference side of things, we've got Hawks Heat. I think the Heat are just a better team overall. The Hawks, very inconsistent throughout the season. Bulls Raptors, this one could be good. I'm going to go with Toronto up in the 6, and that will get us set for that as we head on to the next round. There we go. This will be the second round of the play-in, so if these teams lose these games, they're out, not making the playoffs. We got Pelicans, Timberwolves. I still like the Timberwolves. I think you have enough star power with Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards that they're able to get this done. I think they beat the Pelicans. On the Eastern Conference side of things, you've got Toronto and Atlanta. I think Atlanta's just a little bit better of a team than Toronto. Toronto's pretty well coached, but I don't think they have the talent that the Hawks do. So that will get us into the playoffs, if I can find where we are going to click. There we go, up at the top of the screen. All right, so in the first round in the Western Conference, the 8 versus 1, the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Let's not discuss this. Nikola Jokic is going to eat these guys' lunch. I'll give them a game, gentlemen sweep. Boy, do we have a series here. Clippers and Suns. Kawhi Leonard versus Kevin Durant in the first round. This one could be a very, very entertaining series. Overall, though, Phoenix just deeper. They've got Booker, they've got Paul, they've got Ayton. They've just got more star power, and we don't even know if Paul George for the Clippers is going to be here for this game. I'll give the Clippers, I'll give them 2 games. I'll give the Suns this series in 6. Warriors-Kings, the defending champs, come into the postseason as a 6th seed, taking on one of the best stories in the NBA this season, the Kings. It's been a fun ride. The Warriors are a terrible road team. Let's say the Kings surprise them in Game 1, but the Warriors, I expect them fully to take care of business here, win in 5. I'm sorry, Kings fans. If any of you are even listening, if there even are Kings fans, I'm sorry. The Warriors are just a better team. Boy, do we have a fun one here. Lakers and Grizzlies. Lakers, a very dangerous 7 seed. Grizzlies, kind of a weird team, man. They've had a weird year. John Morant's gotten in some off-the-court trouble. Some things have been going on there. I think this would be a back-and-forth grind. You see me filling it out right now. We're going back. We're all the way at Game 7, but I trust LeBron and Anthony Davis in a Game 7, especially with the injuries to Memphis. Steven Adams not going to play in the playoffs. I think that'd be big for the paint. Anthony Davis and LeBron James would eat that up. We go on to the West. Hawks, Bucks. Here's my first sweep prediction. Bucks in 4. Not going to even entertain that. Knicks and Cavs. This could be a very good series. You've got some good star potential here. You've got Donovan Mitchell. You've got Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle. You've got Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. So many good players in this series. But I think Cleveland's just a little deeper. I think New York's a good team, but I'm giving Cleveland this in 5. Sixers and Nets. The Nets are terrible after they traded away everything. We're going to go ahead and give them a sweep there. Celtics Heat. Another 7-2. I think both 7-2s in this postseason have the potential to be very entertaining series. I give the Heat a couple games, but I like Boston to finish them off in 6 to end our first round of the playoffs. Now we get into the second round, where we're going to get some premier matchups, if it will click. Okay. There we go. Let's go on to the conference semifinals. The Suns and the Nuggets. Oh, man, this is going to be a great series. I cannot wait if this series happens. So much star potential. You possibly have the 3-time reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic, playing in this series for the Nuggets. I think this is going to be a dogfight. I think both teams go back and forth. This is one of those series. I just have to go 7. And my heart is telling me the Suns come out with this. They're too deep, too good of a squad. Now, you have the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers against the defending champion Golden State Warriors against the Los Angeles Lakers. It'll be 2 teams playing a lot of star power in this one again. LeBron James, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson. So many great players in this series. The Warriors at home, I expect them to take care of business. I expect this to go 7, but I expect Golden State to knock out the Lakers. On to the East, Milwaukee. Nobody is stopping Giannis this year. I'm sorry. He is just going to roll through this thing. Then we get Sixers and Celtics. Oh, it's such a great series. Such an entertaining series. Unfortunately, the Sixers are a one-man show right now with Joel Embiid. James Harden is not the guy he used to be. So I'm going to give the Celtics this series. We'll give it to them in 6. That's fair. And now we're on to the conference finals. This is where it all happens. All right. Warriors-Suns. Kevin Durant versus the Warriors. Oh, this would be so juicy. This would be such a great series. I think this one's going to be a fight. But Golden State's road troubles are going to come back and get them in this series. I like Phoenix in 6 to go to the finals out of the West. And then we go to the East. And good golly, Miss Molly, this series is going to be so good if it happens. Please, basketball gods, let us have this series. Celtics and Bucks, they met up last year, but Chris Middleton was hurt, and it still went 7 games. Very entertaining series. Hopefully, we get a series this year with 2 fully healthy teams. Tatum, Giannis. Oh, it's going to be so awesome if this happens. But I don't see anybody in the world that's stopping Giannis Antetokounmpo right now. I don't see anybody doing it. I'll give this to every home team. It goes 7, Bucks, Suns in the finals, just like it was in 2021. And now we have our NBA finals, Bucks and Suns, going to be a great one. Giannis versus Durant. What a matchup if that happens. Unbelievable. So much star power in this series. I like Milwaukee in 7 over the Phoenix Suns to win the NBA finals. And if we can go out a little bit here, there is my bracket. If you can see it a little, try and zoom in a little bit. There it is. That's my bracket. That's all going to happen. I'm Nostradamus on the mic. I'm just letting you know this is exactly what's going to happen. So, I'm sorry if I ruined your entertainment value for the postseason. But all jokes aside, I am very much so looking forward to this postseason. So many great players, so many great potential matchups in this postseason. But that's all the time I have for today. As always, thanks for watching, and Roo up.
Welcome back to Lifestyle and Culture. I'm your host, Joshua Cunningham, and today I'm going to do another album review, but before I start any of it, I just need to apologize to you guys. You know, if I'm going to say I'm this music guy and know a lot about music, I need to do album reviews for all types of music, even if it's 36 songs in Morgan Wallen. You know what I mean? No shade to Morgan Wallen, but just 36 songs is so much. But next time, I will make sure I listen to that album and give a review, you know, if it's long or whatever. But today, we have Daniel Caesar, Never Enough. And if you guys know anything about me, you know that Daniel Caesar is one of my favorite artists all time. So I was so excited to hear this album, especially after a 4-year long hiatus from Daniel Caesar. Now, first listen, I would say the top 3 songs that were my favorite that I hadn't heard because some of them he released as singles were Always, Cool, and Vince Van Gogh. And honestly, a fourth that almost made the list was Shot My Baby. But I would say this album wasn't necessarily a different style from Daniel Caesar, but it was definitely an evolution for him. I mean, in the past, it was a lot more about the atmosphere that he was giving, and the songs were a lot more drawn out. But I feel like this album is a lot more about storytelling. Like, I feel like it was going through the story of his love for this girl. And although it was toxic, I mean, what do you expect? It's R&B, it's always toxic, so you gotta love it. And like I said, it was a lot more emotional based in what he was saying, which I kind of liked, just the difference in that. And it doesn't mean there was any less atmosphere. It just didn't seem like it was as big as a focus as in some of his past albums. But I would say, off my first listen, I would have given it an 8.5 out of 10. But I listened to this album like 6 times over the weekend, so every single time I listened to it, it just got better and better and better, and it's just such a fire album. So it went from like an 8.5 to a 9.5, and honestly, I think by the time I'm done listening to it, like all the time, it will be a 10, because I just love Daniel Caesar that much, and his music is just that fire. But if you like this album review, come back next week on RooTV to hear more of my music opinions, and follow me on Instagram at mr.cunning123.
Welcome everybody to today's segment of Roo Style. I'm your host, Gabe Rocha. Now before we get started, I want to take this moment to say that every single person has their own sense of style. Whether that be jeans and a hoodie, pants and a blazer, this program is about promoting self-expression and exploring fashion. If that sounds good, let's get into it. So for today's topic, I want to talk about online resources that help you explore fashion or help you in any types of way. So this first website I want to talk about is looklastic.com. So say you have a new pair of sneakers or you want to style that specific pair of green shorts that you have in your wardrobe. Looklastic helps you do just that. You can go into the search bar and look up whatever piece of clothing that they might have in their catalog that is similar to yours. Then it will show you a myriad of outfits and pictures and images of that outfit that's styling that specific item. So I could go on there, look up men's green shorts, and it will show me images of outfits with men's green shorts in them. You can also filter them out for any season, occasion, any type of style even. It's whatever works for you. This next one I want to talk about is Pinterest. I know, Pinterest, but it's a great source and it's a great way to look up things and try some new styles out. So say you want to dress for more of a concert festival vibe, or you're going to a holiday party, or you just want something more casual and laid back and skater vibe. You can look up specific keywords, throw them in the search engine on Pinterest, and it'll show you many different images of the thing that you're trying to replicate or the style that you're trying to go for. It's very easy, it's very simple, it's very cool, and sometimes while you're on there, Pinterest will link you to the direct item or product that it has on there. So say there is a cool skater jacket that you're looking at or looking for, Pinterest will link you to a skater jacket that you could potentially buy for yourself. Doesn't that sound cool? I think it sounds cool. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions about what I should talk about next time, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Well, that's all the time I have for this week. Thanks for listening. I always appreciate it.
Bunny TNT is a rescue run by mother-daughter duo Joyce and Joan Gadrades. Joyce Gadrades shared that the name TNT stands for Training, Nurturing, and Therapy. They have dozens of rabbits available for adoption, which are housed in a residence in College Hill. Yet, their work extends to educating others on how to care for them. Easter season is a crucial time to educate, as it's anticipated that the number of rabbits given for adoption will rise following the holiday. Bunny T&T recently received 11 bunnies all at the same time. Taking care of rabbits is not low cost, and supplying their diet's mix of hay, food pellets, and greens adds up, with the group spending around $600 a month for this supply. With many elements to caretaking, Bunny T&T hopes to move out of its residential home into a place that's larger and easier to clean. They work to educate people on the duties of taking care of bunnies and the differences in their treatment versus pets like dogs and cats. Gadrady shared, "When people adopt from us, we make them a member of our group for a year so we can educate them." To view bunnies for adoption, go to bunnytnt.org.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of RooTV. Be sure to hop on the subscribe button and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RooNewsUMKC.
See you next week.